Welcome back to Wander Freely. Today we are in Indianapolis heading into the largest single-day sporting event in the world. It is the Indy 500 and all the fans are turning out to see racing at its finest. We entered the gates and walked through the tunnel under the racetrack to get our very first glimpse of the pagoda. We continued on through the growing crowd to the museum. This is a great place to learn about the history of the Speedway as well as its heroes. They have a lot of information about the Unser family and a room full of winning cars. Near the museum, we were also able to check out where the cars are kept before the race. Behind those doors, the cars are receiving their final adjustments and the crews are gearing up for the big race. Here is a map so you can get your bearings. The Speedway covers a huge area. It is difficult to describe just how large the stands and the entire event really is in person. The track is 2.5 miles long, so walking from one end of the racetrack to the other is about a mile. The stands surround the outside of the track, and the infield is also full of racegoers. The red star shows our location at the museum. The pagoda is nearby. Our seats for the race were located just before turn 3 at the Black Arrow. We made our way over to that area and found a seat in the shade behind the stadium to eat lunch. We were just in time to see some of the helicopters flying overhead to drop off the drivers.
He's coming out.
Pretty sweet entrance. The heat was intense, and we faced temperatures soaring to 93 degrees. Like so many others, we waited in the shade until the build-up began. When we walked up the ramp to our section, we took in the Speedway for the first time, and we were blown away.
Come on, babe, let's go.
As they like to say, this is May, this is Indy. Upwards of 300,000 fans getting ready for that famous line, "Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines." The Indy 500 was a great way to celebrate Memorial Day weekend. We cheered for and remembered all of our active and veteran military. There was an abundance of respect and gratefulness. Our inspiring national anthem was sung by Kelly Clarkson and was followed by a flyover of a stealth bomber. Indiana Pride was bursting as Back Home Again in Indiana was sung and the balloons flew over the crowd.
Picture your dad's friends all up the beach.
We had a friend in a different area of the Speedway, and we have the advantage of shots and footage from different areas to show you just how big an event this is. And as the crowd was revving up and the atmosphere was becoming electric, I can only imagine what it would feel like to be a driver. to experience 220 miles an hour speed from behind the wheel, to prepare yourself to maintain the intensity of the driving for 500 miles, to hear and see the roar of the crowd from inside the tiny car. After introducing all the drivers, the famous "Start Your Engines" was heard. The drivers started with 4 pace car laps with the crowd on their feet waiting for that green flag. The green flag was flown and the Indy 500 began.
Wow. Dude, when they come flying into that turn down there, it's amazing. Like they come out of nowhere. Watch them.
I have never seen anything like the first time those cars came around turn 2 at full speed right toward us and then into turn 3. You have to experience it for yourself to get the real true feeling.
At the start, it looked like that Pagano kind of moved out on the inside.
And now it is time to sit back and enjoy the race. Until the end. We have some extra special footage from our friends of the actual finish line. Watch as the flag changes from white to the checkered flag. And willpower wins it. A special thank you to the Jones family who made our visit to the Indy 500 so enjoyable. RV friends make the open road a special place. Hope you enjoyed this glimpse of the Indy 500. See you next time.